It's fairly common nowadays for athletes to decide to do a triathlon. And a lot of athletes are surprised to find that their endurance in one sport doesn't seem to translate into another. So, for example, you'll have someone who can run an incredibly fast marathon but struggle to swim 2 or 3 lengths of the pool. Lance Armstrong, we all know about how good he was on a bike. The first time he ran a marathon, it took him well over 3 hours. He eventually did get his time down to 2:46, which is really not a bad time. But I mean, again, he's Lance Armstrong. Why didn't his bike endurance transfer over with him? And so part of the misconception for this comes from our understanding of endurance. We refer to it as cardio. And so if somebody runs a lot and gets better, because you do get better, you get faster, so you can go longer, you think it's because of adaptations in your heart and lungs, but it turns out that's not really the case. So how do we know that? Well, as scientists do, they recruit people, generally college kids, and they do experiments with them. So one experiment that they did is they took a bunch of people without a lot of specific athletic training, and so for example, they had them pedal on an exercise bike using only their right leg or using only their left leg for X number of weeks. And of course, their endurance got a lot better. They got to where they could go long distances using only their right leg. But so at the end of it, they had them switch over to their left leg, and they were no better off than when they had started. So what does that tell you? Well, what it tells you is the adaptation that happens is not in the heart and lungs. It's muscle specific. So if you want to be a good swimmer, you gotta swim. That's why being a champion marathon runner does not translate into being a champion swimmer. The same mentality, you've got the same mindset, you've got the same discipline and work ethic, but your muscles have to adapt. You've got to get your body to the same spot. It's not heart and lungs. It's about the muscles. So when Lance Armstrong, best biker ever, decides he wants to run a marathon, the bike muscles are not quite the same as marathon muscles. There's some overlap, but you have to train those new muscles. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that helps explain some of the frustration that you may have encountered in trying to become a triathlete. But that's what's going on. You've got to train the individual muscles. Endurance is at the muscle level. It's not at the heart and lungs level. That's all I got.